we've come to that time where speeches will be made. I would ask you, while the speeches take place, that you try and stay in your seats. As you may imagine, people are a little bit nervous, and there's nothing more disconcerting than having half your audience walk out partway through your speech. So please refrain. Anybody who feels they might have an urgent need has got a couple of minutes to get catheterised now. Other than that, you've had it. The first speech that we're going to take is, have you got your mic there? Yeah, okay, right, wonderful. It's from the father of the bride. Now, I did notice that Rob was a little bit nervous, and I spoke to him about it and said, "You must be nervous." And he said, "Oh yeah." He said, "It's the speech." I said, "Oh, I thought you meant you were nervous about giving your daughter away." And he said, "No, bloody hell, no." He said, "Let's face it," he said, "it's not the first time I've sent her to bed with a dummy." Whoa. Over to Mike.
Thank you, Ian. And thanks for your help today, you've been brilliant.
Thank you.
Well, what can I say? Stunning place, lovely people, well organised you too. Well organised you. Welcome everybody. Can I just say that you look absolutely stunning, Olivia. I'm very pleased to join the Craven and Beck's family together. I'm very proud to be part of your family, and I know Emma is as well, so it's lovely. It's a really lovely moment. Sam, I've got a question that's been burning on me for the day, really. How was the Lambo trip?
Really good. Yeah, it was good.
I've looked online at speeches, and most of them say don't drink. For quite some time now, I've been testing to hopefully get to the optimum level. So hopefully I'm there or thereabouts. We've got friends and family here from all over the world. We've got our friends, the Seagrave family, all the way from Philadelphia, USA. We've got the Murray family from Donegal. We've got godfathers, godmothers, granddads, grandmas, aunties, uncles, brothers, cousins. We've got a lot. I'm really proud to be handing over my firstborn daughter to lovely Sam here. And I'm genuinely chuffed to have you as part of our family. I think you fit in really well, and you're a lovely lad.
Yes, he is.
Olivia, again, you look so beautiful. I'm so proud. I remember the day you were born like it was yesterday. Throughout your life, you've had an and me attitude. Olivia always pushed her way in, but she always had a lovely way of doing it. The ceremony today was superb, and I'm really sorry for being soppy as I walked in. 5 minutes prior, Olivia gave me a bouquet she gave me a locket with my father's photograph on it to tie on the bouquet, and I didn't really recover from that. It was a low blow, Olivia. And then I heard afterwards that she told everyone that she was going to make me cry and various others. And she walked into the church, bone dry eyes, and I was weeping like this. like a baby. Sorry, one sec. Olivia's done some amazing things that I'm very proud of. When she was little, she always wanted to be a marine biologist. She's got into the medical profession in a slightly different way, obviously. She's a midwife and she's done really well. She went to Bangor University. And what a fantastic achievement and career path. And it's so lovely to see all her groups of friends here today, from school, from uni, and from rugby, which I know is a big thing for the Craven family. And we enjoy going down to Moor Rugby Club to watch everyone, and it's a really nice thing. And Lottie started to play rugby, which is great, so we may end up being a rugby family as well. Olivia loves to travel, and we've had some lovely holidays over the years. We used to go to Florida almost every year, and that's where we met our lifelong friends, Glenn, Janice and Alyssa, who have made it over here today. And Janice and Alyssa actually made it over for the hen do as well, which is incredible. Last year we took the whole family, including Sam, to Hawaii. We had a trip of a lifetime, and that's probably where I got to know Sam the best. He was lovely to have around, and he's just an easygoing guy, and he's welcome to our family. So I'm really chuffed that you're here.
You don't know him?
Olivia's, as I said about Olivia's travels, she took a trip to a place that I can't even pronounce.
It was Greece.
In Greece, helping the Red Cross, helping refugees, which is selfless. But when she got home, she went back to Thomas Cook to complain because she meant to go to Ayia Napa. In 2019, we sorry about the 19 now. We went to Florida with Granny Claire. And Liv for my birthday bought me a shark dive experience. And I was absolutely petrified. It was just me and Liv. And we were supposed to go out on a free dive, which Liv did. And I chickened out. And I was the only one left on the boat. And the captain had this massive shark cage on the back that was all tied up, and I don't think he wanted to get it off. And I said, the only way I'm getting in the water is in that cage. So reluctantly he got it off, but as a payback, when I was in the water
with me,
with Olivia, he threw all the chum on top of my head to really rev up the sharks, and I was absolutely terrified in the shark tank. I was kicking out.
He literally nearly put me out as bait.
But I didn't know what was going on top of me. All these parts of mackerel and stuff were getting thrown on me, and everyone was laughing on the boat. And that was a really lovely father-daughter. It was good fun in the end. But a great experience with just me and Liv, which was wonderful.
Are they silky sharks?
Yeah, there were silky sharks actually. Anyway, I'm going to pass you over. I'd like everyone. I'd just like to make one final comment, because I know we're all here and it's lovely, but my best pal Chris over there, who said he was going to embarrass me, he hasn't, but he actually gave me some good advice. He said just enjoy the speech, because it's a one-off thing. But I'd also like to just mention that Chris's sister-in-law passed away last week, so if we could just raise a little glass to Helen and to have some friends.
Give me mine.
To Helen.
And then...
And now you're going to make me speak.
And then if just...
Now I'm going to barrack you.
So I'm finished now, Piggy. So if we could just raise our glasses to the bride and groom.
To the bride and
If you
bride.
could all start playing. stand, please. Let's have a toast. To the bride and groom. Over to you, Liv. Follow that bad boy.
Right, well, that was great, Rob. Thank you very much. Proper round of applause for Rob, please. What I realise I've not done actually, and should have done before I introduced Rob, is just to say on behalf of all of us here, I think, a big thank you to Sam, Liv, their respective parents, for what has been a delightful day with beautiful food, lovely service, great company, and the staff of the venue have been superb. So on behalf of all of us, I'd like to say thank you. Sorry I didn't do that earlier. We're now moving on with the speeches. Sam told me earlier today he thought he'd found his Miss Right. I have to tell you, Sam, as a man with 45 years of marriage behind him, you'll find the middle name she missed out was Always. So, ladies and gentlemen, Liv.
Thanks everyone, obviously, for coming. I mean, it's me, so let's be honest, can't have everyone else have a theme. Here I am.
And me.
Yeah, so Sam introduced me to his mum and dad as the girl he was going to marry. At the time, I didn't ever imagine this, and I know his parents were probably obviously terrified of the thought. I hope I stand here today to make you both proud. Sarah, Steve and Ben, I came into your family like a whirlwind, and I brought my chaos. I tested boundaries, I tested your limits, and more often than I should, I tested your patience. At times where I didn't think possible, you all stood by me, supported me, and steered me in the direction of the person I have become. Something I'll be forever grateful for. I know how much this boy means to you, and I promise I will look after him and cherish him in every possible part of me for the rest of my life. The feminist in me hates saying this, but for years I wanted saving. In hindsight, the only person I needed saving from was myself. I think girls are walked with an ideology of a boy coming into our lives and saving us. I didn't believe I had the ability to be strong enough and show myself the love and respect I needed. Sam didn't swoop in and save me. Instead, he gave me a steady and kind love, and with that gave me everything I needed to save myself. Oh, well done, thanks. I became a better person, a better daughter, sister and friend. I've put a lot of you here today through it over the years. The fact you're all still here today by my side is amazing, so I'm forever grateful. I can't thank my mum and dad enough for everything they've done for me. Firstly, for showing me what true love and friendship is, but mainly for never giving up on me. Always being my biggest supporters and helping me create the life I've always wanted. And Sam, you are my best friend. You're my partner, you're my home and my adventure all in one. I can't wait for our life together. Brave is the man who loves a wild woman.
Well, thanks for that.
Thank you to all of you for being here, it means the world. Here's to kindness, patience and love. Without it all, I certainly wouldn't be here today.
That was very touching, Liv. Beautifully put. Well done. Thank you. Thank you on behalf of all of us. Right, so now we move on to the groom. Now, I was talking to Emma earlier, and she said when she first met Sam, Liv brought him home, and she was actually a bit worried because Sam and Liv retired to bed, and when they retired to bed, there were various nuptial noises, shall I say, that built up, and that evening finished with a huge crash. And the following morning, they heard the same nuptial noises, and they finished with a huge crash. And
Craig.
Emma said, "Are you sure about this boy? He's not being too rough on you." And Liv said, "No, Mum, he's fine. He's a painter and decorator. He just likes a matte finish." So, on that very, very poor note, I'll give you Sam.
Hi. I'd like to start by saying that my wife and I are really grateful for all of you who have come to celebrate our special day with us. It really does mean a lot. I want to say a few special thank yous. Firstly, I would like to thank my amazing parents for everything that you have done for me in my life. You have given me the best example of what it takes to live a long and happy life together with the person that you love. I would also like to thank my new mother and father-in-law. Bob and Emma, you have made me feel so at home and you have welcomed me into your amazing family, even though the first time we met was quite an awkward experience. And you were also there as well. You have also given me the opportunity to marry your amazing and beautiful daughter. I would like to say thank you to my best man, Ben. You have been the best brother I could have ever hoped for. We may have not always seen eye to eye in the past, but I always knew that you were there for me when I needed you and that I was there for you when you needed me. So I'd just like to say how grateful I am for everything that you've done for me. I would also like to say thank you to my groomsmen who have made my day go the best it could have possibly gone for me, and I am so thankful for all of you. To the bridesmaids who have helped live through this process the best way possible and who all look amazing as well. But my most important thank you is to my wife, Liv. You have made the last 4 years of my life the most amazing I could have ever wished for. You mean the absolute world to me, and I am so proud of everything that you are doing, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Mine and Liv's story started off with a brutal rejection. We were at the Panto rehearsals. It was Liv's first time at Panto, and it was my first time seeing Liv. And as cliche as it sounds, I feel like it was love at first sight. My mum had made potato cakes. and they were passed around the table. And I noticed that Liv hadn't taken one. So, being the smooth guy that I am, I took them over personally to Liv and said, "Are you sure you don't want a potato cake?" Liv turned around to me and simply went, "Yeah." And even though she turned down my offer of potato cake so harshly, I knew from that moment that Liv was the woman that I wanted to marry. So I would like to finish by raising a toast to my beautiful wife, Liv.
Thank you, Sam. Now, we now move to the final speech. Ben was telling me earlier he's done some research. Apparently, the ideal best man speech takes as long as it takes for a new groom to make love to his wife. You'll all be very pleased to know that Liv assures me this speech will not last all night. Ben.
Thank you. That's twice I've been right last night. I want to start off by thanking Sam for his kind words. They really were lovely, and hearing them made me kind of think over some of the stories that I was going to tell today, and whether I was going to be too harsh. But then I remember what growing up with him was like, and I'm going to keep committing.
Don't say about me yet.
I want to thank him as well for the honour of making me your best man. I never thought I'd get it, if I'm being truly honest, mainly because Sam would never admit I was the best at anything. But also, about 4 years ago, coming back from university, I wasn't long out of a relationship, and I was reflecting on what really mattered to me and where my priorities were, and I was talking to our Sam and I said, do you know what, mate, if and when I get married, I'd want you to be my best man. You've been with me from the beginning, you've been there through it all, and there's nobody that I would want stood next to me on that day other than you. Sam took a second and went, oh, that's really, really sweet, that's really kind, thank you. I'd probably pick Baz. Sam mentioned that we haven't always seen eye to eye, and that's kind of the gaps that I'm going to fill in with this speech. But the first story is actually the story of his first game playing rugby down at Moor. It was a beautiful day. We were playing against Furwood Waterloo. Sam was making his debut on the wing, and he was playing really well. He was running well, he was kicking well, played so well that he even won man of the match, which left me with the more prestigious award of Dick of the Day, having been outplayed by my brother on his debut. But that's not the one thing I take away from that game. That is going to be that about 20 minutes in, Sam played with something to prove, got in a bit of an altercation with the opposition winger. Punches were getting thrown back and forth, and it was clear for all to see that Sam was coming off second best. So one of our players, a guy called Pete King, steps in, grabs this guy that's punching out Sam, puts him in a bear hug so he can't hit him anymore, but Sam, not prepared to miss this opportunity, coils back in what looks like he's going to be an almighty haymaker and lets fly, just as their lad ducks and he punches Pete straight in the face. 20 minutes into your first team debut and you punched your own teammate in the face. Those of you that have only met Sam fairly recently, probably quite shocked to hear about that. He gives off a pretty calm, laid back, sometimes even shy demeanour. But anyone that's grown up with him knows that isn't the case. He is fiercely competitive, I suppose we both are. He hates to lose, and there's nothing he hates more than losing to me. So naturally, as his older brother, my job was to make sure he lost as often as I could make it possible. One time springs to mind when we were playing swing ball in my grandma's back garden, and Sam was on the end of a pretty heavy battering. After losing 8 or 9 games consecutively, I could see the frustration building up in him, and he clearly wasn't happy, and he started to charge, and I thought, this is going to end in a fight now. But instead of charging at me, he charged towards the swing ball set and started tearing it apart. Feeling a bit relieved that he wasn't throwing punches at me, I took my eye off him for a second, and in that second he launched a section of the swing ball at my head. As we both stagger inside, me bleeding from my forehead, my mum realises that I probably need some stitches, but she's not taking me to A&E to explain that her sons have injured each other playing swing ball. Me and Sam have lots of stories going back and forth like that. We never miss an opportunity to try and get one over on each other. And we learned pretty early on that we had to play to our strengths. Me, by virtue of being older than him, was always stronger than him. So we knew if I could catch him, he was in trouble. But one thing I could never match Sam for was the pace. So pretty early on, he realised he had to resort to guerrilla tactics. He'd hide in the corner of rooms, jump out, punch me in the back of the head, and be gone before I could turn around. He'd wait until I was sat watching TV or reading a book, and he'd run in and kick me in the chest, and then be out the room before I could get back to my feet. He really did make it quite difficult sometimes, I think. But this is where I truly have to give thanks to Liv. You've done what I never thought would be possible. Your combination of crazy and chaotic energy, which I mean is an absolute compliment, has somehow been the thing to calm him down, and I'll always be grateful for that. So Sam's second game playing rugby for Moor. And we're playing away at Merseyside Police. It's a tough game. There's some big hits being played from both sides, and Sam finds himself on the receiving end of one of these hits, and he's tied up in the bottom of a run. and one of the opposition players decides he's going to get back to his feet by putting all of his weight through our Sam's chest. Something not unheard of in a game of rugby, but Sam took it personally. He jumps up to his feet, starts chasing after this player and sets himself again for another almighty haymaker. But before he can let this one fly, one of our experienced props, Pete Franklin, just gives him a tug on his shirt and his punch narrowly misses the back of this off-duty police officer's head. I don't know what would have happened if that police officer had caught you, but it probably wouldn't have been good. And I do mean if he caught him, Sam genuinely did have a lot of pace. But he never really showed it to his best on a rugby pitch. The time that springs to mind most is when we were on holiday in Switzerland. We were camping, we'd both gone up to the shower block to get ready for bed. We were brushing our teeth, and behind us is a row of toilets, and I decided I'm going to go use the toilet, save myself a trip up later on. As I'm in the cubicle, I notice someone enters the cubicle next to me, and he's having a lot of problem. The door keeps swinging open, he keeps kicking it shut, every time he seems to lock it, it seems to somehow unlock itself, and he's getting quite angry, he's shouting, he's swearing, he just can't seem to get this door to stay closed. Anyway, I step out of the cubicle and find our Sam in a half squat with a euro coin giggling to himself, unpicking the lock of this door. And I'm like, Sam, what are you doing? And he looks up and all of the colour drains out of his face as he realises he'd been picking the lock to the wrong door. He doesn't stop to explain himself, he doesn't even stop to put his Crocs into sports mode. He sets off flying. He covers the 300 metres between the toilet block and the tent on 4 steps, his feet barely touching the gravel. Flies past my mum and dad, heads straight into our tent, straight into his sleeping bag, and as I walk back, all I can hear echoing around the campsite is, oh no, 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 no. Naturally, my mum and dad assume it's something I've done that's upsetting, so I'm on the end of a proper bollocking. But I was too busy laughing to tell them what actually happened. Sam has lots of talent. He's told me already how resilient he can be when he faces brutal rejections over potato cakes. He also has been able to come back and play rugby after snapping 3 ACLs, despite the fact, like all of us, he was only born with 2. But his true talent, where he really comes into his own, is with his accents. He doesn't do them very often, but hopefully after a few drinks. Maybe. Maybe after a few drinks you might hear him get some of them out. He was really good at them though. He was able to convince native speakers that he shared their accent. In year 10, his maths teacher, Miss McIntyre, was convinced for about 6 months that he was also Scottish. Right up until parents' evening when my mum and dad went around, neither of them with a Scottish accent. He naturally asked, well, where does Sam get his Scottish heritage from? It's a pretty awkward and confusing parents' evening. Sam's accents, when combined with his horrendous timing, created some really awkward and brilliant moments. He'd always seem to remember when we were ordering food at a Chinese restaurant, he could nail a Chinese accent. He always seemed to pull out his allo style French accent when we were checking into campsites on holiday in France. But he really kind of messed up one time when, after being at school and studying of all things the Rwandan genocide, he realised that he could nail an East African accent. And he created this character that he nicknamed the General, and the whole way home on the bus he's talking to me in his accent, we get a lot of raised eyebrows from the other people that are sitting near us. So proud of this new voice he's found, he bursts into the house and he shouts his greetings in his accent of hello, I am the General, to my mum and dad, who are coming down the hallway looking horrified. Because what my mum had failed to explain to us beforehand is that this was the first day that her school was running its Kenyan student exchange. And we had 3 students from Kenya sat in our dining room. Sam now gets to combine all of his talents with all of Liv's many talents. I'm sure the 2 of them will go on to share many successes in the future. Sam's 3rd game of rugby for long. He'd finally done it. He'd been called up to the first team. We were going away a little bit short to Linley. We needed a winger and Sam had played well, but we were all aware that we were going to have to keep an eye on him because he tried to start 2 fights in 2 games. As anyone who's played team sport will be aware, you can't keep your eye on everyone all the time, so Sam found his moment one-on-one with the opposition second row and no teammates around to interfere. Sam had picked his man. He'd chosen poorly, if we're being honest. Sam's not a small man, as some of you can see, and even back then he was still standing at about 6'3". He weighed about half of what he does now, but still not a small man. He was dwarfed by this second row player. He was an enormous man. Sam coils back into what is now his signature almighty haymaker. But instead of throwing it at this guy's head, he throws it into his body. Second row seemingly doesn't even notice what's gone on. With one rotation of his body, he hits Sam with an uppercut that sends him off his feet and flattens his back about 4 feet away from where he started. Second row then lumbers across the pitch, hits another ruck, and the ref gives his usual refrain of "I didn't see it play on." And I get there and find Sam getting to his feet. And after a punch like that, I'll be honest, seeing him get to his feet, I gained a little bit of respect for him there and then. He gets up and he's like, "That didn't go well, did it?" No, no, it didn't. He's like, "I think I've hurt my lip. Can you have a look?" So we get some water, we clean the mud and the blood off his face. And he has split his lip. But when I say split his lip, both sides of his bottom lip are kind of moving independently of each other at this point. Knowing that he clearly needs stitches, he probably needs to go to hospital to get this looked at, I feel a bit concerned for him. Until I look over his shoulder and I see that we've got no subs today. The only person that's on our sideline is my dad holding some water bottles. That's when I make the decision of, "No mate, go to soft, you'll be fine, play on." To his credit, he dusts himself off and he does, and in that moment I gained a little bit more respect for him there and then. At the end of the game, every player shaking his hand from our team, from the opposition, even the referee was like, "Mate, you need to go and get that looked at." So we take him to A&E, he gets his stitches put in, and normally that would be the end of the story. But Sam had been invited to a party that night, and he wasn't prepared to miss it. So half an hour later, you get a phone call saying that he'd ripped every single stitch out of his face, trying to chug a bottle of vodka. And I'll be honest, I gained a little bit more respect for him. Sam, it genuinely has been an honour to be your brother and to grow up alongside you. You are my friend, my teammate, my brother, and I couldn't have asked for anyone better. I love you, I always have, and I always will. You make me proud every single day. It makes me so happy to see you this happy, and again I have to thank Liv because you are the reason that he is this happy. You have had patience with him where I would not have been able to. That being said, good luck. He's all yours. I don't want him back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could charge your glasses and join me in a toast. To the happy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Craven.
The staff are going to need to rearrange the tables a little bit, so if you can vacate the tables, move about, give them the chance to do that, and things can be prepared. You can go where the bloody hell you like this. Right? And then things can be prepared for the evening. Thank you very much. Thank you.